Looking for a half-day or full-day activity around Playa del Carmen? Take a Collectivo to Cenote Azul. We headed out around 9 a.m. to beat the crowds. If you're like us and don't have a car, Collectivos, aka small local buses, are a really good way to get around for only 35 Mexican pesos. Cenote Azul is a gorgeous cenote located between Playa del Carmen and Telum. Cenotes are natural pits or sinkholes resulting from the collapse of limestone bedrock that exposes the groundwater underneath. There are 4 different types of cenotes: open to the ground, semi-open, closed and deep ocean. Cenote Azul is an open cenote, meaning that it is like a swimming pool. The entry cost was $10 or 150 Mexican pesos. They require you to shower before entering the water because sunscreen and other chemicals on your body can hurt the fish in the natural ecosystem. The water was insanely clear and lived up to its name, the Blue Cenote. Cenote Azul is the perfect family-friendly spot with a variety of different pools and depths that you can swim in. There are multiple areas in each zone that are shallow enough for young children to play. Some helpful tips we should have known are to bring water shoes, as the rocks are quite uncomfortable to walk on in and out of the water. They allow floaty devices and actually rent them at the entrance booth. They also rent snorkeling equipment, which I highly recommend if you didn't bring your own goggles. Another thing to note is there were tons of fish that were super friendly and will come up and swim with you. There were also some fish that eat the dead skin off of your feet, and they were having a feast on Kiefer's feet. I thought I would like the feeling, but it was much more tickly than I expected, so I opted to swim instead. Cenote Azul is one of 3 cenotes in the area, along with Cenote Jardin de Eden and Cenote Cristalino. If you're very ambitious, you can go to all 3 in the same day. A thing to note is that Jardin de Eden is not open on Saturdays, so we plan to go back another day for another cenote. The pool I'm swimming in now was my favorite area. The water was shallow enough to be warm, but deep enough that I didn't kick the rocks when I was swimming. A good reminder is that when the rocks are green, they have algae on them, which makes them very slippery. It's generally a good practice to swim at the surface to prevent slipping and prevent the destruction of algae, since it's the food source for the fish living within the cenote. If you're interested in hanging out under a cliff or swimming down to deeper depths, Cenote Azul has a deep end of sorts. You can make your way around to a few cave cutouts that are next to the cliff jumping section. Make sure to look above and stay to the side so you don't get hit. It had been a while since I jumped off anything, so I took a running start, had a silly flail, and landed in the water safely. By this point, Kiefer and I were getting quite hungry. We decided to dry off in the sun before changing out of our swimsuits to get something to eat. There was no food at Cenote Azul, so we opted to walk down the highway to a taco stand for lunch. We spotted a friendly lizard, said hello, and continued on. Thanks for joining, and make sure to follow and subscribe for more places to visit and activities to do on your travels.